How does a $10 gaming mouse compare to others? Let's take a look at Redragon's Centrophorus gaming mouse.
Never pay full price for your games again. Kingwin.net has up to 70% off game codes, as well as cheap Windows licenses for you system builders. Click the link in the description to learn more.
So, let's first talk about specs. It has an Avago laser sensor, but which one I really don't know. It can go up to 2000 DPI with a button right behind the scroll wheel to cycle between 1000, 1500, and 2000. It has Omron switches, but to be honest, most gaming mice these days have Omron switches anyways, so that's not really new. It has two side buttons, which are not programmable, you should know, not programmable. They are default as backwards and forwards on a web page, for example, but in games they just come up as buttons 4 and 5. Button 3 being the scroll wheel, and 1 and 2 I think you should know. There's an adjustable 8-piece weight tuning set on the bottom with 2.4 grams per weight. Now, I personally leave all of the weights in the mouse because I like kind of a heavier mouse. It has durable, smooth Teflon feet at the bottom, of 4 in total, 1 at each corner, but do note it does not come with any extras. So if you're in those ones, that's it. Although, to be fair, it is a $10 mouse, so it's probably pretty easy to replace. Now, the cable is a 6-foot cable and is braided, actually very well braided, very nice and durable, unlike some other braided cords I've seen, like the the G230s that I reviewed a while back. And the USB plug obviously has gold plating. Now, the scroll is anti-skid, so you're not going to get that thing. It's 1x1 little notches for precise scrolling. The lights are red only, okay? It's not RGB, but to be fair, any other color would look weird with the red paint already on the mouse, and I'm fine with red anyways, so that works. So enough about specs. How does this mouse actually perform? So comfort does technically vary between people depending on the size of their hand and grip style, like if you have claw grip or a palm grip. I'm personally a palm gripper. But that said, out of all the people who have tried my Centrophorus mouse, the only people who said that they did not like it were those brand people. You know, the ones like, unless it's Razer or Logitech, I really don't want to hear about it. And they're like, oh, it's horrible, and my Mamba is better, and my whatever is better. But other than those people, everyone did really like it. Now, as I mentioned, the two side buttons are not programmable, but they're still there, and they can still be programmed in-game. Now, that might make not much sense, because I just said they're not programmable, but now I'm saying they're programmable. You cannot program what the keys show up as, but in games, in the control settings of most games, you can assign buttons 4 and 5 to different functions. And also, when you're on the internet, it's back and forwards. It's pretty useful, I guess. But honestly, unless you have like 12 side buttons, there's really no need to program what they do. It's just extra buttons to be programmed in game. So I think that's enough, especially considering the price. A lot of this is definitely considering the price. Now, a lot of people may be all like, oh, well, the Razer Mamba can go to 16,000 DPI. And this one, as I mentioned, can only go up to 2,000. But if you're using 16,000 DPI, you are crazy. You give your mouse a little love tap, and boom! Moves right across the screen. Boom, boom! That's just not practical. Honestly, from what I've seen, 2,000 is the max anyone will go. I personally use 2,000, but I don't like moving my arm much. I just do the little wrist flick things. And most gamers actually use it at 1,000. Well, yeah, that one weird friend that moves it at 800 and doesn't move his wrist a lot. He's weird. But other than that, most people use it at around 1,000 to 2,000. And that's all this mouse can do, because this is all it needs to do. Now, it would be nice to see a little more customization in the DPI. You can only do 1,000, 1,500, or 2,000. That's it. Although I do believe Redragon has another model mouse, very similar for a couple of dollars extra, that does give that function. Speaking of the sensor still, tracking. Tracking is, from what I've seen at least, perfect. I've had no issues whatsoever. Overall, actually, I don't really have any complaints. For only $10, this is an excellent gaming mouse, and just in general, it's a pretty good gaming mouse. Now, it obviously doesn't have all the fancy gimmicks like RGB lighting and whatnot, but for $10, what do you really expect? And as I mentioned, RGB lighting wouldn't really look very good on this mouse. Now, for $25, you can get this mouse with a keyboard. That's what I did. You get a keyboard-mouse combo. And it's really good. I'm actually going to have a review of that keyboard sometime soon, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But, like, the mouse is really good. It's so good, actually, that it is my main mouse to use when I'm not at home. So when I'm at school with my laptop, I bring this mouse. It's kind of small compared to other mice, so it's really easy to carry, but it's not so small that it's hard to hold. If you have big hands, though, that might be an issue. But I have average-ish hands, and I'm a palm gripper, and it's very comfortable. Now, I didn't say that is my on-the-go mouse. At home, I do have Redragon's Perdition mouse, which is kind of like the Naga or the G600 with the 12 side buttons. Again, review of that coming soon, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But still, honestly, I have no complaints. Great mouse. So back to the original question. This mouse does compare very well with other gaming mice. Not even just at this price, but especially when you consider the price, it's a really amazing deal. Now, to anyone who wants to get into gaming or just wants to game but doesn't have that much money, this is honestly the best choice, in my opinion, for a mouse. Even if you do have more money, why spend it all on a mouse when you can get pretty much the same mouse for $10? This is an amazing mouse. I would recommend it 9 out of 10. Again, the only complaint is the exact DPI control, but whatever. Other than that, really good. So, leave a like if you like this video, leave a dislike if you don't know what's good, subscribe for more, and don't forget to support us by shopping on Amazon using our affiliate link found down in the description below. We'll see you next time.